He was offered absolute power, and he refused it. He could have become a king, a dictator, or a lifetime ruler. Instead, George Washington walked away from power twice. In an age ruled by monarchs and empires, this single decision shocked the world. Today, we explore the life, rise, power, and legacy of the man who became the first president of the United States. But first, 3 lesser-known truths about George Washington that history rarely tells you. George Washington was born on February 22, 1732, in Westmoreland County, Virginia. He was born into a planter family, not royalty. Not nobility, but landowners whose status depended on hard work and reputation. Washington's father died when George was just 11 years old. Unlike many leaders of his era, he never studied abroad and never attended college. Instead, Washington learned through experience. As a teenager, he trained as a surveyor, mapping the rugged Virginia frontier. This work exposed him to danger, isolation, and the harsh realities of colonial life. By his early 20s, Washington was already leading men through unfamiliar territory. His early military career began during the French and Indian War. At just 22, he commanded colonial troops. He made mistakes, some nearly fatal, but he survived ambushes, battlefield chaos, and political failure. Those early failures shaped him. They taught him discipline, restraint, and the cost of poor judgment. Washington also became a wealthy plantation owner at Mount Vernon. Yet his success depended on enslaved labor and uncomfortable truth that would later haunt him. By the time revolution approached, Washington was respected, experienced, and known for his character more than his charisma. When tensions between Britain and the American colonies escalated, Washington emerged as a natural leader. He was tall, calm, disciplined, and carried himself with authority. Most importantly, he was trusted. In 1775, the Continental Congress needed a commander for its new army. Washington was chosen not because he was the greatest general, but because he represented unity. He was a Virginian, balancing northern and southern interests. And unlike many officers, his loyalty to the American cause was unquestioned. Washington accepted command knowing failure was likely. The Continental Army was poorly trained, underfunded, and often close to collapse. He lost more battles than he won. New York fell. Philadelphia fell. His army froze, starved, and nearly disintegrated. Yet Washington understood something crucial. If the army survived, the revolution survived. Through discipline, persistence, and symbolic leadership, he held the cause together. Victories at Trenton and Princeton revived hope. Foreign support, especially from France, changed the balance of power. By 1781, the impossible happened. One of the facts about George Washington was not a brilliant battlefield tactician. Historians agree he lost more battles than he won. What made him extraordinary was not military genius, but leadership. His ability to endure defeat without surrendering the cause changed history. After independence, Washington could have ruled indefinitely. Instead, he resigned his military command and returned to private life. This act stunned the world. When the new Constitution was created, Washington was unanimously elected president in 1789. No one before him had defined what a president should be. Every decision set a precedent. He formed the first cabinet. He stabilized the economy. He supported a strong federal government but warned against political parties. He refused royal titles. He insisted the president serve the nation, not dominate it. Washington signed laws he personally disliked because he respected the Constitution. He suppressed violent rebellion not to assert power but to protect lawful government. After 2 terms, he stepped down voluntarily. This single act established the peaceful transfer of power, something many nations still struggle to achieve today. The fact number 2 is, George Washington never lived in the White House. The presidential residence was completed after his death. Yet every tradition inside it, from cabinet meetings to inaugural ceremonies, exists because of him. Washington was deeply flawed. He owned enslaved people for most of his life. He enforced laws that punished dissent. He approved policies that displaced Native American nations. Critics accused him of favoring elites and suppressing democracy. Others believed he allowed too much power in the federal government. Washington himself feared that the nation could collapse into division. Unlike many leaders, he acknowledged these contradictions. Late in life, his views on slavery changed. In his will, he ordered the freeing of the enslaved people he personally owned, making him the only founding father to do so. His legacy is not one of perfection but responsibility. George Washington freed his enslaved people only after his death. He understood that his wealth and the young nation were built on contradictions he could not fully undo. Another fact about him: George Washington died on December 14, 1799, after a sudden illness. The nation mourned deeply. Across America and Europe, he was compared to ancient heroes. His legacy is not measured by conquest but restraint. He proved power could be surrendered, that leadership could be temporary, that a nation could be stronger than its ruler. Today, Washington consistently ranks among the greatest leaders in history, not because he ruled longer, but because he knew when to walk away. George Washington shaped a nation without becoming its master. In a world still obsessed with power, his greatest achievement remains his refusal to keep it. The question is, if given the same choice today, would any leader do the same?